Good evening and a very warm welcome to you from the Aberdeen Sports Village. It's day 4 of the Scottish National Championships and we are live with you and we'll be starting the action very soon. I'm Duncan McKinnell and I'll be taking you through the action, and in the commentary box with me tonight is Scottish Swimming's Performance Director Ali Wyke. Good evening, Ali.
Evening, Duncan.
It's going to be a great evening once again. We have coming up a good programme for you. Should be able to see that on the screen very shortly, but remember that you can tweet us, hashtag SNOC2017. You could also pick up the coverage at BBC Online, so if you go onto the BBC website and follow the links through to BBC Sport and hunt around a bit, you should be able to find us there as well. But if you are on the Scottish Swimming YouTube channel, we're delighted to have you with us this evening. So here's some of the action from last night. What a cracker we started off with last night. There was just 100 of a second between these two. Who do you think won it? Well, it was just Jarvis Parkinson in lane 4 from Thomas Peribonio in 6. Followed that by another resounding Hattersley performance, Ali. Yeah. She's been in good form.
She was in excellent form, and that followed on from a really good effort in the 800 on the previous evening. So I think she was really pleased with the way she did that.
100 breaststroke, another really tight one. Chris Kerr, it really looked like he was going to get that in the red cap, but just missing out to Ewan Ingalls, who doubled up with the 50. Followed that, another magnificent performance from Lizzie Simmons, just over the minute there in the 100 backstroke. She absolutely dominated in the 200 and followed that up. Another person who's dominating in backstroke is this man, Craig McNally, 2:00:22 for the 200. So he's showing some good form. We followed that with women's 200 breaststroke. Victoria Gunes, the Turkish swimmer, who's now training in Edinburgh, just seeing off Hannah Miley there. So some good swimming there. She's doubled up on the individual medley events and added the 200. Then we had, well, really tight 50 freestyle, but Cumble is there in lane 4. Edinburgh University swimmer, there he is. He took the honours there. 50 butterfly, another really tight one. You can't guess who's going to win that at this stage, but in fact it was Tame Bruce over in lane 6, and there's another one who doubled up 50 and 100 butterfly gold medals for her now. So some real thrillers. We then finished off with the 800 freestyle, and it was this man, the local man, who brought it in, the University of Aberdeen swimmer, getting that one. So we had a good night last night. We're looking for much more of the same tonight. We start off with the 100 butterfly. Tonight we've got MC multi-classification swimmers, so that's our para-athletes will be going. They'll be going up against each other in different classifications, and then we use a point system to figure out who's won. Here's the program: 100 butterfly. Then we have 100 freestyle. We have two of our young female stars there, Lucy Hope, Rachel Masson, Camilla Hattersley we just saw there going into the shorter distance there. See what she can do there. Of course, we've always been strong in 200 freestyle men, Ali, and well, Stephen Milne going in lane 4 in that one. Is he going to go pretty fast tonight, do you think?
I think he'll likely drop under the 150 mark. He's clearly preparing for the World Champs, so but he's in pretty good form, as he's shown in some of the other events this week so far.
Should be a battle between Hannah Miley and Kiana McInnes. You would think in the 200 butterfly, the youngster Kiana McInnes is really showing some great form this season. I think it could be very interesting, experience versus youth.
Indeed, I think that could be one of the best races of the night, actually. I expect that to be extremely close.
Follow that with 50s, 50 backstroke for the men, 50 breaststroke for the women. The breaststroke one in particular perhaps very interesting. Corey Scott's already got a nomination time in 50 breaststroke, of course bronze medalist in Glasgow, but well, do you think Cara Hanlon could maybe sneak in and join her tonight?
I think Cara's going to be pretty close tonight, so watch out for that one.
That would be great if she could. We also have the youngster Katie Robertson, who has had a string of junior medals. She'll be going in that one as well. We finish off then with 400 individual medley. We've got another swimmer who's already marked up a consideration time, Mark Sharanek, going in that one. He's off to the Worlds as well. So
terrific.
400 IM, hard one maybe to do, not rested.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know that he is an extremely hard worker, and if you are doing the 400 IM, putting in that training before you go to the Worlds, when you're not rested, it's a pretty difficult event. Remember, he's been out in Thailand and Japan training with the British team out there, which exposed him to some great competition at the Japan Open there, and then onwards to the Setikoli meet last week, where again the competition was extremely tough, and when you're training extremely hard, it's not easy to get yourself up in terms of the level of performance you're looking for. But we know that Mark performed extremely well and working in terms of the different aspects of his race that he's trying to improve.
We'll finish off with the women's 1500. That'll be a battle for the youngsters, and then medley relays tonight to see us through. But we're just about ready with our first final. They're coming onto the blocks now. It's a multi-classification final. There are 6 swimmers going in this one, and going in lane 2, he has been breaking a number of S10 classification records this week. It's Oliver Carter of Carnegie. Next to him, John Law of Helensburgh, swimming S13. He could well improve on his Scottish record tonight. We'll keep an eye on that. James Hollis, the Loughborough swimmer, is next to him. So that's him in the white cap just at the back there, I think. Then we have Conor Morrison, S14 for University of Aberdeen Performance. Chap Milne beside him, another S14 swimmer, swimming for Dundee City Aquatics. He's been on the podium plenty of times. And Carl Hughes completes the lineup, swimming S9 for Motherwell and Wishaw. So that's the lineup here. Remember, as I said, it's not necessarily the person who finishes first who takes the gold medal. We'll change times into points, and it's the points that will determine the finish order. So that is James Hollis that you're looking at there. Very experienced para athlete. So he is setting off strongly in lane 4. Beside him, Conor Morrison, probably best known as a breaststroker. So it'll be interesting to see how fast he can go here on the butterfly. And then Chap Milne in the pink cap for Dundee City Aquatics in third, just tucked in behind Conor Morrison. They're both S14, so that's a straight fight between them. John Law, S13, so visually impaired swimmer, is looking quite strong there through the turn, but Hollis showing his class now. So 28.74, you can see there on the screen, was the split at halfway, so it suggests he's not going to be a million miles away from the minute here. He was 1:00.50 this morning, so you'd like to improve on that. So absolutely dominating proceedings down here, and it'd be a great surprise if he's not got the highest points as well. He's just over the minute, 1:00.63. It's going to be John Law. Just keep an eye on his time, 1:06.31. So that, I think, is a new S13 Scottish record there. So excellent stuff. We start off with a Scottish record. That's not that man, that's the Englishman from Loughborough, James Hollis, but the man next to him, if we don't know whether we can get a shot of him, John Law there, 1:06.31. Oliver Carter third home. No, in fact it wasn't, it was Conor Morrison third home, 1:06.79, but we'll get the points very shortly and we'll confirm what the 1, 2, 3 is. Thoughts on that one, Ali?
Well, clearly James Hollis dominated right from the start. He's probably looking to drop under or get close to that minute barrier this evening, but possibly just didn't quite hold it together in the last 15 metres, and but pretty close in the end. Great Scottish record from John Law as well, though.
Going to be John Law. Just keep an eye on his time. 1:01 there in our very first event. So we move on to the B final now, and we're just about ready to go. You're looking there at the fastest qualifier for the B final, Edinburgh University's Cameron Finlayson. He'll go in lane 4. This just looks to be a little bit of a delay. I don't know whether they're just considering the result from the para final, but looks like it's now confirmed. So, and we'll just So we're still just waiting for confirmation there. And in fact, no, we don't yet have it. So we'll just wait and be a bit patient, and we'll get the points order very shortly. So we're just about ready to go here with our B final. And we run through the field. We have James Slade of London Aquatics in 0, Craig Greenock, North Lanarkshire in 1, Murray Quellant in 2 for Aberdeen Performance, Kane Murcutt of Royal Wolverhampton School in 3, Cameron Finlayson in 4 for Edinburgh University, Jenna Walsh of Warrender in 5, William Murden of University of Stirling in 6, Alistair Miley of Aberdeen Performance in 7, Joe Watt, City of Glasgow in 8, and Andrew Hosey for West Lothian. A late call-up into this B final goes in lane 9. So 26.60. It's Murray Quellant who leads the way at halfway. Let's see if he can hold on to this. It's a pretty commanding lead that he's got. So I think you'd have to say the answer is yes. It's anyone's race for second and third, but Quellant has completely taken this one by the scruff of the neck. His time was 59.88 this morning, well inside that, 57.14. I think he'd be pretty happy with that one. He came into the meet on a 57.11, a time he did at National Age Group, so replicating that here in the same pool. There's the result. Quellant, Walsh and Miley, the 1, 2, 3, so 2 from the University of Aberdeen. Second and third, but Quellant has completely taken this one by the scruff of the neck. His time was 59.88 this morning, well inside that, 57.14.
Took it out on that first 50 and then really maintained his technique down the last 25. And I think time-wise he'll be pretty pleased with that as he looks forward to the British Summer Nationals.
Yes, so he has that coming up. We then go to our first A final of the evening, sticking with men's 100 butterfly. They are coming out onto the blocks now. So as we just have a wee look around, we should be in a position to introduce them. There they are. So we have Alistair Robertson of Edinburgh University going in 0. Beside him from Aberdeen Dolphins is Robert Bryce. Can we see Robert anywhere? Yeah, there he is. So he goes in lane 1. Alistair Kirkwood of South Lanarkshire is in lane 2. 3, another Aberdeen Dolphin, Stuart McIntosh. Lane 4 from Loughborough University, Joe Elwood. In lane 5 from City of Glasgow, Ryan Brown. Lane 6, the youngster from Warrender, Archie Goodburn. In 7 from Edinburgh University, Ross Leslie. In lane 8, Gregor Swinney for City of Glasgow. And James Black goes in lane 9 for West Lothian. So Elwood 56.73 in the heats. Then we've got 2 swimmers within 3 swimmers within 500ths of each other. Ryan Brown, Stuart McIntosh and Archie Goodburn. So, well, could be pretty close. So off we go. Good start in lane 4 from Joe Elwood in the black cap. He's maybe about a metre up, coming down the pool here towards the turn. Good start also in lane 1, Robert Bryce. And he is, well, challenging for second place along with Stuart McIntosh. So the 2 Aberdeen Dolphin swimmers going well, but it's Elwood 25.49. That's a lot faster than they were this morning, over a second faster for the first 50. And he is pushing it on strongly. Joe Elwood actually did a 55.2 at the ASA East Midland Regional, so that will be the time he'll be looking to improve upon here. He's certainly going to take this one comfortably. It's still anybody's race for silver and bronze, but Elwood brings it in 54.96. He'll be happy to get under the 55, I think. So good stuff from him. Ryan Brown is the one who snatches second, 56.25. And Archie Goodburn, the junior, gets the bronze medal as well, 56.39.
Yep, indeed, a great race there, Duncan. The Joe Elwood taking it out at the start, which is great, but you saw the difference in tactics with Robert Rice going out quick as well. Stuart McIntosh in there, and then maybe the more endurance-based athletes coming back on the second 50. Ryan Brown having gone 2 minutes in the 200 fly earlier in the week, and he was pretty strong down the last 25, as was Archie Goodburn. A nice finish from him, and that's an excellent swim.
Yes, it certainly was, but a dominant performance from Joe Elwood there in a clear victory for him. 100 freestyle for the women is next up. And we again start with a multi-classification final. I can, by the way, just give you the top 3 in the men's 100 butterfly multi-classification. As we thought, it was James Hollis was the winner, Conor Morrison was second, and Chap Milne actually got ahead of John Law on points to take the bronze medal. Bit tough, you break your Scottish record, but you don't get a medal. All life stuff in multi-classification swimming. But we focus on the women's 100 freestyle now, and going in lane 3 for South Lanarkshire is Jenny Hunter swimming S8. Rosie Bancroft, City of Oxford, is in lane 4. S10 swimmer, another S10 swimmer, Beth Johnson in 5, and Laura Pilkington swimming S6 for West Lothian goes in lane 6. So 2 lengths of the pool. There will be some fairly substantial time differences, I think, between the S10 swimmers in the centre lanes and the other 2, the S8 and the S6, Jenny and Laura. So Rosie 1:11.68, Beth 1:12.20 this morning, so there wasn't too much between them. You would think Rosie Bancroft would be the favourite, a very experienced S10 athlete, and she does have the advantage coming up to the turn, maybe a metre and a half up. So coming through the turn, let's just check on her split. 33.04. So you would think that she has every chance of improving on her 1:11 heat time based on that first half, and is now pulling well clear from Beth Johnson. Beth has had a pretty useful week this week. The S10 swimmers giving everything that they've got, but this is going to be Rose's race, and of course these 2, it is a straight fight. Their points obviously will go with the times on the same classification, so a lot faster than she was this morning, 1:06.60. So 33.0, 33.6. Interesting splits.
Excellent even splitting there on that race. Rosie is a very tough athlete, trains extremely hard. To swim a 33 is excellent stuff, but here we've got Jenna Hunter coming in.
Yep, so Jenny coming in 1:33.66, so she improves by 3 seconds on her heat time, and Laura Pilkington is bringing her time in, and she also improves by 1.5 seconds on this morning's swim. So another excellent swim from both of those 2 girls. Jenny a very inexperienced para swimmer, so it can only be good experience this week for her, and hopefully she'll take lots of learning back to the South Lanarkshire programme. But that was our winner, Rosie Bancroft. She is experienced, and that experience showed there to good effect. B final will be up next once the para athletes have cleared the pool. You're looking at Georgia Coates. Probably something of a surprise to see Georgia in this B final. But maybe she fancies just having the pool to herself. That's not to be insulting to these other swimmers, because you never know. Victoria Gunas in lane 6 is, of course, showed some great IM performances earlier in the week. So what can she do? Matos as well. And Bonteith and Caulfield from Edinburgh University. There's a few good swimmers in this B final. Let's see what they can produce. The full field: Sophie Harbour, City of Leeds in 0, Amy Godsave, London Aquatics in 1, then 2 from Edinburgh University, Hayley Menteith and Samantha Caulfield in lanes 2 and 3, Then we have Georgia Coates from City of Leeds in the yellow cap in lane 4, with Evie Edwards of Edinburgh University beside her. Victoria Gunas of Turkey in 6. Raquel Matos, Edinburgh University in 7. Chanel Snedden from 1st, and Katie Smith from Warrender complete the field. So it's Hayley Monteith who turns first, 27.74. So that's pretty strong stuff there. Let's see whether she can really bring it home hard. 58.59 was her split, but it looks to be all changing here as Gunas pushing on strongly in lane 6, and the second half really was all about her. 56.62, really turning it on after the turn. Second was Georgia Coates coming through, 57.57, and Raquel Matos in 3rd. Hayley Monteith, who turned in the lead, only 6th in the end. So we saw a bit of that from Gunas in other events, that she really seems to be a second half swimmer.
She does, and you've got to play to your strengths. So if you have a decent background and you've got the strength in the back end of the race, there's no point in trying to push it too hard over the first half. That was pretty even in the end from Gunas, and really took off with 25 to go. Pretty much took the field apart at that point.
Yes, she did. So we now move to our first women's championship final, and in lane 0 we have from the University of Stirling Natasha Houghton. In lane 1, also from the University of Stirling, Rebecca Murray. Camilla Hattersley, who we talked about at the beginning, she goes for a City of Glasgow in lane 2. Then we have 2 Edinburgh University swimmers, Katie Stark in lane 3, and beside her Lucy Hope, the fastest qualifier in lane 4. Rachel Masson is in lane 5, swimming for South Aberdeenshire. And Catherine Greenslade, a 3rd Edinburgh University swimmer, beside her in lane 6. Then we have Kirsty Simpson from University of Aberdeen Performance in lane 7. Emily Horn is in 8 from City of Glasgow, and her teammate Galsamonal beside her in lane 9. So Lucy Hope 55.62, Rachel Masson 56.27 in this morning's heats. So Lucy will be, I would think, looking to get into the low 55s or maybe into the 54s here. It would be great if she could get into the 54s. And the others, Rachel Masson has been in good form this week, so it's tough to call at this stage. Does look like Lucy Hope maybe just has the advantage in lane 4, maybe a half a metre or so up as they go through the turn. We'll check the split at the turn, 26.76. That's just a little bit faster than she was this morning, not very much, about a 1/10 of a second, but coming out of the turn it does look like she's maybe now a metre and a half up. Still very, very close for second. Katie Stark, Rachel Masson and Catherine Greenslade all up there in a line, but it's Hope by maybe a metre and a half still. She is going to take this one. Let's check on the watch. 55.33, so improved by 3/10 on her time from this morning. Pretty close to the time she was entered on, 55.0. So a good solid performance once again from Lucy. Catherine Greenslade makes it an Edinburgh University 1-2, and Katie Stark makes it Edinburgh University 1-2-3. 55.33, 56.03 and 56.10.
And the race probably ended up the way we would expect it, with Lucy Hope taking it out pretty quick over the first 50, 26.7. The other girls all out in 27 points. And it was an even finish over the last 25, wasn't it? And all about the touch. Greenslade just getting in front. Catherine Greenslade looking to qualify for the Welsh Commonwealth Games team, having gone 158 low earlier in the week. I think she'll be in good contention for that team, so an excellent race.
So the 100s there are done. We'll be going to 200s next, freestyle for the men and butterfly for the women. But before that, we've got our first set of presentations to guide you through. We're starting with the multi-classification men's 100 butterfly. They're just coming up to the podium now. Just see there up on the top left, and there they are. And you're looking there at our medalists. So, just trying to work out what is going on there, because they look to be different swimmers from the ones I was expecting. So certainly it's James Hollis, the gold medalist. Conor Morrison showing on the silver podium there at Jack Milne.
Looks like some substitutes in there, Duncan.
Yes, I think so.
The young man on the right hand side, yes. Ian Rennie from DCA just picking up the medal.
Yep. So the next presentation will be for the able-bodied swimmers. Still waiting for confirmation of the result in the women's 100 freestyle multi-classification. We'll give you that shortly. But here are the able-bodied 100 butterfly swimmers, and is this a first senior medal for Archie Goodburn, I wonder? The bronze medal? I'm not sure whether he's got one already. Ali's not sure either, so we'll give a rain check on that one. You can tell us if you know. Hashtag SNOC 2017. And silver medalist was Ryan Brown from City of Glasgow, and Joe Elwood there. That dominant performance from Loughborough taking the gold. The Scottish champion, though, is Ryan Brown from City of Glasgow. He's had a good meet, Ali, Ryan.
Yes, excellent. And he swam reasonably well at the British Championships. Pretty good over the 100. Maybe not quite as well as he expected over the 200, but here, 2 minutes on the 200 fly, pretty much on his best, if not just inside, almost breaking the 2 minute mark. So to back that up with that 100 metre swim, I think he'd be pretty pleased as to where he's at the moment. With 3 more weeks or so preparation time before the British Summer Champs, he's in a pretty good place. And Archie likewise as well, if he's going to the European Youth Olympics, we'll have a number of swims out there. But again, we know he's been working pretty hard, and he's been able to pull out a swim like that, and looking in good form, technically pretty good, then he's in a good place also.
Yes, so as well as the bronze medal, he picked up the junior medal, not for the first time, maybe not for the last. We might well be seeing him again. So we'll be going to the women's 100 freestyle, starting off with the women's multi-classification. So they're just coming up to the podium. So yeah, it's Laura Pilkington who gets the bronze medal. She was 4th home, but because she's got the lowest classification, so the biggest disability, she is promoted up to 3rd place on points. Beth Johnson there from the Borders takes the silver medal, and the winner, Rosie Bancroft from the City of Oxford. So another gold for her. And it's photo time for them. Right, how are we going to do this? I've been crouching down to be on Laura's level in previous presentations, not this time. One more presentation, the championship medalists from the women's 100 freestyle. And they're just making their way up. So we see some of the Hearts contingent there. I think maybe some of the Warrender contingent in there as well. These clubs all work very closely together, and you'll see a certain commonality here. Red tops of Edinburgh University, and the bronze medalist there, Katie Stark. The silver medalist, Catherine Greenslade. So, friends and colleagues here. Bitter rivals in the Gold Coast, maybe. Lucy Hope and Catherine Greenslade. Gold medalist, Lucy Hope. I think that's the first gold she's got. She's been on the podium a good number of times, but I think it's up till now it's been silvers, so she'll be happy to pick up the top one here.
Yep, indeed, the backstroke events, I think she was silvers in there, and then on the 200 freestyle, Catherine just pipped her in that event, so she'll be pretty pleased to get one up on the 100.
And Katie Robertson is our junior champion. Didn't swim in the finals. She was a reserve for that, but the top junior from this morning. Of course, normally more used to seeing her on the podium on breaststroke events, so showing her versatility with a very strong swim this morning. Our junior champion from South Ayrshire. So we say farewell to the hundreds, and we start to think about the 200s. We start off with a head-to-head on multi-classification, and again this will be a straight race. So we have going in this one this man Conor Morrison from the University of Aberdeen Performance, and beside him is the Dundee City aquatic swimmer Jack Milne. Both of them have not had an awful lot of recovery time after that 100 butterfly, so no time to rest. They're straight in for a 200 freestyle. They both did 212s. In fact, there was only 100th between them in the heats this morning. 212.88 for Morrison, 212.89 for Milne. So you would think Morrison certainly is the more experienced athlete of the two, but well, you never know. Jack Milne has been on good form so far this week, so can he pick up a first gold? They apply the -1 rule in these multi-classification events, so there's only going to be one medal given out on this one. It goes to the winner. They're both S14, so whoever touches first will be the winner. And certainly the better start there from Conor Morrison, off the blocks very quickly, and well, as a result of that, he's a metre up already. But of course, well, the starts are important in any race, but perhaps less important in this middle distance event than they are in the sprints. But it is Conor Morrison who has got himself an early and fairly comfortable lead here. Again, because they knew there were only two of them, there was no need to really push it at all in the heats. It would be very much about following coaches' instructions about how to swim heats and finals, and they would certainly not want to be impacted by the fact that there is essentially a guaranteed slot in the final waiting for you. You want to follow the strategy so that you're prepared when there's a much more competitive race in front of you. But there's around 2 meters now, coming up to halfway. Morrison with the advantage, and he goes through 102.82, hence 104.50 for Milne. And well, it's going to be a tough ask, I think, maybe for Jack Milne to bring this back, but you never know. He's working pretty hard here. He's certainly holding the gap, I think, at the moment down this third length. Maybe we'll try and set himself up for an attack on the final 50, but coming up to the 150, let's check the time. It was 102.82 at halfway, 136.59 at the 150, so that was around a 34 there. So pacing maybe a couple of seconds faster than he was in the heats, and Jack Milne now is pushing on, but well, he's not really making an impact here. He's certainly not losing ground on Conor Morrison, but he's not going to catch him. 10 meters to go. It's going to be a victory for Conor Morrison. Let's just check on the time. Looks to just be easing back, or maybe easing back because of that 100 fly a little while ago, but he dips under the 210, 209.96 to take it, with 212.72 for Jack Milne. There's confirmation there for you. So it will be Connor Morrison who we'll see shortly on the podium. There he is coming in. It did look to be tiring at the end there.
Yeah, I think that 100 fly just literally 15-20 minutes ago is just starting to catch up with him. Out in 62 point, and back to 67 on the way back, so he'd probably have liked to have kept that second 100 a little bit closer to the first, and would have wanted to go a little bit faster, but nonetheless a fairly solid swim for Connor.
So we go to the B final now for the men's 200 freestyle. Angus Barr there is the swimmer you're looking at. 157.39 from him this morning. He goes in lane 4. There you can see the full field with Jack Sharanek of Edinburgh University in 0. His teammate Daniel Fisher in 1. Murray Quillen, Aberdeen Performance in 2. Cameron Park, City of Glasgow in 3. Then we have Angus Barr, University of Stirling. Casey Barrett from the Royal Wolverhampton School. Fraser Agnew of University of Aberdeen in 6. Fraser Meadows, Edinburgh University in 7. Chap Watson, University of Aberdeen Performance in 8. Audi Hasuna for Warrender in 9. Well, Jack Sharanek, right at the bottom of your screen, is blasted out the first 50, and well, he's probably best known as a sprinter, so it'll be very interesting to see whether he can sustain this pace. So he went through the first 50 in 25.53, so we'll just keep an eye on what his second 50 split is and whether they do come back at him in the second half. My guess is they're going to, but well, let's not just call our chickens yet. That was around a 29 for his second 50. Best of the rest at the moment is Angus Barr in lane 4, and on his right hand side is Cameron Park of the City of Glasgow, and does look now like they are clawing in this Sharanek lead. Of course, 2 Sharaneks in these championships. Jack is the younger brother from Mark, who we'll see later on. But, well, I think maybe his day is just about done now, because Angus Barr has gone past him, 125.12. Jack Sharanek still holding second from Cameron Park. I think this is going to be tough for him down this last 50, though. And it's Barr who is going to bring them in. 125.12, as I said, at the 150. Let's see what he can do down this final length then. He's certainly working pretty hard, and he's got a big lead now. It's tight for second. Maybe Cameron Park just has it, but it's Barr who takes it, 154.33. Just a second or so outside the time that he was entered on, which was his best time from last year, 153.0. So 154.3, not far away from that as we approach the peak of the season. Cameron Park did take second and Daniel Fisher third, and poor Jack Sharanek there just found that tough at the end and ending up in 8th place. Yep,
and that looked pretty painful for Jack Sharanek down the bottom there, around 25 point. And he was really fighting hard down the last 50, but not quite managing to hold on there. Angus Barr pacing it a lot more even and coming strong in the second half as well. So
Jack maybe was looking for the intermediate split there and just see what he could do in that first 50 in particular.
Possibly. I think he was probably trying to take the advantage of being on the outside lane and get away and try and hang on in there at the end of the day. But you know, a good effort nonetheless.
Yeah. A final up now, and there you are looking at Kieran Preston of Edinburgh University. He'll go in lane 0. Reg Lloyd from Team Ipswich is beside him in lane 1. Doesn't want to show his face. Lane 2 is Jack Warren Ballard of University of Stirling. Jarvis Parkinson is beside him. We saw that thrilling 200 IM with him yesterday. Beside him, Stephen Milne, part of that Olympic silver medal 4x2 team in Rio. He goes for Perth in lane 4. Craig McLean of University of Stirling in 5, with his teammate Martin Walton beside him in 6. Then we're back to Edinburgh University for our next 2 swimmers. Scott Goby goes in lane 7. Jack Thorpe is in lane 8. It'll be interesting to see how he does in this longer affair. Usually best known in the 50s and the 100s. And we have Martin McInnes of City of Glasgow in lane 9. All eyes, I would guess, on Stephen Milne here. He has a 400 consideration time, doesn't have a 200 time, although would certainly be in the shout for the relay. What can he do here? So off they go. Time from Milne this morning was 1:51.05, about 3/10 up on McLean, who goes in lane 5. Good start in lane 8 from Jack Thorpe in the white cap, but it does look like Milne is going to lead them through the turn, but not by much. Let's see, 25.70, that is Stephen Milne's split. Interestingly, that's not as fast as he went this morning. That's about 4/10 slower than he was in the heat, so running a different strategy maybe here. So we'll see how that works out in practice. He'll have thought through this race pretty carefully. Still, well, I think Craig McLean just has second place from Jarvis Parkinson, lanes 5 and 3. Through halfway now, 53.55. Around a 28, just under for his second 50. He's now up by a metre, maybe a metre and a half, with McLean second. Walton is coming into the mix in lane 6. I think he's maybe just edged into third. Still Jack Thorpe going nicely in lane 8, so keep an eye on him as well. But, well, it's Stephen Milne who has the edge here, 1:21.67. So looking at that, he's now faster than he was by about half a second compared with this morning. So he's certainly pushing this harder in the second half. He still has company though. Craig McLean is only a metre behind him in lane 5. This is a good swim from Craig McLean. He is pushing on strongly. Looks like Jarvis Parkinson is going to be third, but it's going to be Milne who takes it, 1:49.17. Strong swim, getting under the 150, just over the 150 for Craig McLean, 150.18, and Parkinson there, 150.58 is in third place.
Well, what a great race again. Stephen Milne just changing his tactics a little bit there, going a bit more even on the first 100, and then when you get to the after the 150, whips in a top class turn, takes it away again. But Craig McLean really working hard down that last 50, and that's an excellent swim from him, 150.1. He'll be just a wee bit annoyed that he just didn't quite manage to get under the 150 marker, which would have been excellent performance from him. But what a race at the end of the day.
Yeah, and a mighty scramble for places on the 4x2 team for the Gold Coast, isn't there? And they'll all fancy their chances for that, these guys.
They will indeed. It's a tough qualifying time based on third at the last Commonwealth Games. So if you make it onto that team, then you've had to put in a pretty good performance.
And there's some depth, isn't there? There's probably 6 or 7 swimmers who would fancy their chances.
There is, and obviously there's a couple that are not actually swimming in the event today, but they've already posted quality times. Duncan Scott, for instance, choosing not to swim this event at this competition.
So women's 200 butterfly. This is the B final now, and the field is Taylor Finlayson of Warrender in lane 0, Tia Ward from City of Leeds in 1, Jennifer King of South Lanarkshire in 2, Victoria Nant of City of Leeds in 3, Gaia Alcaraz of University of Aberdeen in 4, Kieran Kelly of Stirling Swim in 5, Katie Taylor of Heart of Midlothian in 6, Jessica Thompson goes in 7 for University of Aberdeen, Ruby Palmer for City of Leeds in lane 8, and another University of Aberdeen swimmer, Yasmin Perry, in lane 9. In fact, turning second there, just behind Jennifer King, Yasmin Perry. So 30.39 was the split at 50 for Jennifer King, back from America, the University of Missouri. Last year was our Scottish champion in 200 backstroke, which is probably her main event, but showing some good form here in the butterfly. Certainly looks to be dominating things at the moment, and she's certainly not lacking endurance, Jennifer, so you would think she'll be able to hold this pretty well. 105.40, so a 35-second split for her second 50. Good tight contest for third. Kieran Kelly, Alcaraz, right in there, along with that yellow cap, Victoria Nant. Maybe just a little bit further back, Katie Taylor. But, well, Jennifer King still holding that advantage, still around a body length, so I was thinking for a minute maybe she's being caught a bit, but well, it still looks fairly secure. 141.62, so pace just dropped a little bit in that third 50. That was a 36 and a bit, but I would be surprised now if anybody is going to come and attack her. But, well, maybe someone's going to prove me wrong. Alcaraz, perhaps the most likely in lane 4, the youngster from the University of Aberdeen performance team, and she's definitely closing the gap, and going with her is Kieran Kelly of Sterling Swim. Jennifer King still holds the advantage, but it's down to about a metre now as they come into the final 5. I think Jennifer will be able to hold on, but it is about holding on there, and she does that. 2:19.17. She was nearly 5 seconds faster than she was in this morning's heat, so she has to be happy with that progression. But Alcaraz there really working hard down that last length and got pretty close to her.
She did there, Duncan. Again, tactics, pacing, a little bit more relaxed over that first 100. Knew that she was going to have strength coming down the last 50, and pressed all the way by Kieran Kelly from Sterling Swim, who finished in 3rd place there. All coming together for a great finish.
Yes, some good swims there. Yes, that was a good swim from Kieran as well in 3rd spot, as we get ready to welcome our A finalists. And there in lane 0, another South Lanarkshire swimmer back from America, in her case from the University of Georgia, and it's Meg Finnan. Charlotte Robinson of City of Leeds goes in lane 1. Amelia Kleins, also from City of Leeds, is in 2. Then we have Tame Bruce, winner in the 50 and the 100, and for Edinburgh University in lane 3. Hannah Miley in lane 4 for the University of Aberdeen. Deanna McInnes, the junior swimmer, but what a season she's having, from Heart of Midlothian, goes in lane 5. A 3rd lead swimmer, Anna Cheeseborough, is in lane 6. Nikki Miller from South Lanarkshire in lane 7. Melanie Hall from the Royal Wolverhampton School is in lane 8. And Serena Iguarum goes for the City of Glasgow in lane 9. Another junior swimmer, Serena. Great opportunity to swim in a championship final for her. You're looking at Hannah Miley, very recognisable. So she's looking focused, got her race face on. So after the hush, as they prepare for the start, we're underway. So just a reminder, it's Miley in the white cap in lane 4. Beside her, Deanna McInnes. Tame Bruce in the blue cap in lane 3. You would think those 3 will be the contenders here. Good start from Deanna McInnes in lane 5, and I think she's going to be first to the wall.
Yep, fully expected McInnes to be out the quickest. I think at the 100 it's likely to still be McInnes, and then you'll see Miley just starting to move through, and then hopefully we'll get a great tight finish coming down the last 50. And with Tame Bruce in there as well, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yes, Tame Bruce, you might have thought might be further up as well. Another great butterfly sprinter, but she's pacing herself fairly carefully at the moment, and in 3rd spot just behind Hannah Miley. There you can see great view of Kiana going through the turn there in 1:02.92. So she's faster than she was by about half a second compared with this morning's heat, but you can see that the other 2 are right there with her. So the super sage Ali White calling that race, and here it comes. Pretty much as he called it. Hannah Miley looking strong down this 3rd length. I think she's hitting the front now. So maybe just up by, well, not even half a metre as they go through. Tame Bruce has a lot of work to do in the final length if she is to get there. 1:37.44 then is the split for Miley. Only 700ths ahead of McInnes, so McInnes is by no means done yet as they come down the final length. Still, it's Tame Bruce in third place, but this is Miley versus McInnes as they go half a length to go, and it looks like McInnes is coming right back here. She's just gone back into the lead now, about half a metre, but Miley will come back again. This is going to be all the way. What a race we're seeing here. 2:11.46 there. Great swimming there, just outside Kiana's junior record, but really gutsy swim. Take it by a 10th there. 2:11.57. Great hug as well. The experienced swimmer and the youngster there, and it was Anna Cheeseborough came through in the end to take third place, just ahead of her Leeds teammate Amelia Kleins. But oh, what does that mean if the board has gone blank? Well, I hope there isn't any queries about the legality of any swims, but you can't be sure when that board appears. There you see Hannah just making her way out of the pool. That was a lovely hug at the end, wasn't it, of the two swimmers?
Well, I think there's a great appreciation between, a great respect between the swimmers as well. You know, I think Kiana's made great progress this year, and it just shows you the composure that she's got. She swam the race the way that she likes to swim the race. I think she knew that Hannah would come back on the third 50, but if they were level pegging with 50 to go, that she probably fancied her chances and just sneaking in before Hannah at the end of the race. So really, really tough stuff, and excellent racing.
Yep, and that result was confirmed, so there was no issues with it, so that's good news. So back to presentations now, starting with the men's 200 freestyle. Remember, we have that head-to-head multi-classification race, and it was Connor Morrison who came out on top of that, so he is coming up to the podium to pick up his gold medal, representing University of Aberdeen Performance. So, some more for the trophy cabinet in the box. Nice permanent memento, the achievement, and of course the gold medal also is for keeps. There's a serious conversation going on. Geary and the University of Aberdeen looks very motivated there, as we see the senior athletes coming up. Bronze medalist there waiting to receive his medal. London aquatic swimmer Jarvis Parkinson, so as I said, gold in the 200 IM. Follows that with a bronze here in the 200 free. Craig McLean from the University of Stirling gets the silver. That was a good swim, as we talked about, from Craig. And Stephen Milne, gold medalist. Looking strong there. And well, we wish him well in Budapest in the World Championships coming up. And Fraser Agnew picking up another junior medal. That was a terrific swim in the 800 yesterday from Fraser. Just missed a senior medal, was the junior champion in that one, and follows that up with the junior medal here in the 200.
Yeah, some good improvements this year so far from Fraser, and he'll hopefully keep that going. It seems to have a wee bit of momentum at the moment, and that's quite important sometimes. Once you get in a bit of a roll, can you try and maximise it?
Yeah, definitely. We also have a special award to give here. You see that beautiful cup there, the Eileen Adams Cup. It's great that we're awarding that in Aberdeen. Eileen Adams, for so long, a stalwart of swimming in Aberdeen. And it's Reg Lloyd, I believe, the Ipswich swimmer. This is for the combination of swimming in the 200 and the 400. He won the 400 and was up there in that 200 final. So in terms of total FINA points, he was the top over the two events. So congratulations to him. There have been some great names on that trophy. David Carey, Robbie Rennick, to name but two.
Indeed, and Eileen Adam as you say, extremely passionate about Scottish swimming and swimming in Scotland. One of Scotland's finest coaches over the years, and she passed away, and she's missed.
So we move to the presentation now for the women's 200 butterflies. That was Anna Cheeseborough getting the bronze medal from City of Leeds, and unmistakably Hannah Miley there, the silver medalist from the University of Aberdeen, and a little shy grin there from Kiana as she steps up to take the gold. And of course, still a junior, so she gets 2 medals to take home. Senior and junior, can't do better than that.
She's particularly pleased with that outcome. I don't think you can underestimate sometimes the motivation that you get from being able to take on, you know, one of the best swimmers in the world, and I think she'll take great confidence from that.
Yeah, not forgetting, of course, Hannah Miley holds the Scottish record there, so maybe our next target for Kiana will be just to knock that record off. Maybe could come in the next year or two.
Absolutely, I think she'll fancy not just the next year or two, I think she'll fancy it this season.
Okay, you heard it here. You can tweet to Ali Wyke on the 31st of December if it hasn't happened, but if it has, in fairness, you have to tweet and say, well done, Ali, you got it right. She'd have to find, what, a couple of seconds, only 3 seconds from her best time at the moment to do that. That's quite an ask. I think you set her a big challenge there, Ali. But we better move on, I think, before we get into trouble here. We've got just the one swimmer going here in multi-classification, but what a swimmer. 2 times Paralympian, Andrew Mullen, going in one of his top events, 50 backstroke. Of course, we have the World Paralympic Championships coming up later this year in Mexico. So that's what the focus will be for Andrew this season after his successes in Rio. Multi-medalist. So you can see there the special attachment for him to get his good start. So with quite severe disability, we'll see how he gets on here. And you can see there the clock is off and running. He was a 38.73 in the heats this morning. His record stands 37.29. That was the time he did in Rio. You wouldn't expect him to match that sort of time now, but we'll see how fast he goes. And he's going pretty fast here. Well, now this is really fast. Well, look at that time, 37.32. Just 300ths away from his time in Rio. Well, I didn't see that one coming, but my goodness, that was, well, maybe the swim of the night, certainly, just the one of them. But wow, look at that, 37.32. That was special, wasn't it, Ali?
That was a fantastic effort there from Andrew Mullen. Interestingly, I had a discussion with his coach Ian Wright at the start of the meet, and one of his predictions was that Andrew was going to do a really good performance on his 50 backstroke, and he was absolutely spot on. I think he probably marginally disappointed he didn't go a little bit faster, but a great effort.
Yeah, he was so close there. Great swim there from Andrew Mullen. B final is up next. You're looking there at Joe Watt of City of Glasgow. And beside him, Greg Watson, his teammate, surprisingly wearing a white cap. That had me fooled for a moment. The full team: Callum Chittleborough in 0, Connor Massey in 1, Lawrence Campbell in 2, Greg Watson in 3, Joe Watt in 4, Adam Early in 5, Lewis McLeod in 6, Ian Lovey in 7, Thomas Harkus in 8, Ed Raffape in lane 9. 27.9 to 29.2 the Ranger times this morning. Looks like it's maybe lane 3 who's got the advantage, Greg Watson, and it is Greg who takes it, 27.51. very nice improvement on his heat swim. 7/10 for him there, so he'll be happy, you would think, with that. Came in on a 26.79, so not quite matching that. 27.51, but Joe Watt second. Adam Early coming in third. So Greg Watson there. I suppose in terms of a 50, a fairly comfortable win. We get ready for the championship final. This will be fast. Looking at the times in this one. 26.3 was the fastest time this morning. The others mainly in the 27s. And we have them just coming out to the podium now as we look at Glasgow University duo there. Andrew Sawkins will go in lane 0 from Edinburgh University. In lane 1, his teammate Chris McComb. Big Edinburgh University contingent at these championships. Scott Gibson of South Lanarkshire is in lane 2. The Scot based at Loughborough, Alistair Wright, is in lane 3. Craig McNally of City of Glasgow, well, he'll take some inspiration from Andy Mullins to swim, maybe, in lane 4. Loughborough's Joe Elwood is in lane 5. Grant Henderson, another City of Glasgow swimmer, goes in 6. And a third Loughborough swimmer, the Irishman Brian O'Sullivan, is in lane 7. Danny Kirkham, Edinburgh University, is in lane 8. Martin Cartow of Glasgow University is in lane 9. So Craig McNally the fastest by quite a margin in the heats. There he is. 26.32. Has in the past gone into the 25s. Historically best known probably for 200. 150 maybe quite short for him, but I have seen him the last year or so doing some pretty fast backstroke sprints. Just a little delay in proceedings at the moment here as we just wait. I'm not quite sure what the issue is, but we'll be underway, I'm sure, very soon. They're just keeping their concentration up. McNally and Elwood, oh, that's the problem. These backstroke ledges not quite properly fixed there. Looks like that's the one. I'm just looking to see what lane that is. So obviously not quite happy. It's lane 0, so it's Andrew Sawkins' lane where it's being sorted. Andrew there just making sure that it's absolutely how he wants it to be. And it looks like he's happy, and we're ready to go. So these little delays, we just have to just keep the concentration up, not let them distract you. And I'm sure these athletes are quite professional enough to steer through that without issue. So we're ready to go now. Just being called up to their marks. And off they go. So as I said, McNally 26.32. Joe Elwood also just ducked under 27 seconds in the heats, 26.98 in lane 5. McNally just about has the edge. This will give him the threesome, 100, 200 and then 50, and it does look like it is going to be McNally. He's just moving away now. He's about a metre and a half up as he comes in, so that's a convincing win, 26.02 for him. So good performance yet again there from Craig McNally. Quite a decisive victory, really. Elwood second, Wright third, 26.67 and 26.81 respectively. Plain sailing.
Yeah, relatively so on the 50. You can see the speed of the arms going round on the 50 backstroke, extremely fast. And there's a wee trick to it, is obviously if you want to spin your arms around quick, you've still got to hold on to the water and get the pressure on the water that takes you forward. So Sometimes you can slip, so your hands go around really quickly or your arms go around really quickly. And there's always a risk of that when you're turning over, and that was what it looked like there for a couple of those athletes.
So we stay with 50s and we move to the women, and for them it's 50 breaststroke. The swimmers are ready at the blocks. Again, you're looking there at lane 0. That's the Northampton swimmer, Ailsa MacDonald, another Scot from south of the border. So just a little bit of whistling coming from the starting system. So again, just another little delay at the start. So as with the men, different reason, but they just have to keep their focus up. They get off the blocks, resettle themselves, the whistle goes and back up they go, and start it all over again. Hopefully this time there'll be no problems. So they're away. We've got Ailsa MacDonald, Anya Reid, Kimberly Mackay, Ellie Riley, Catherine Russell, Laura Hawkins, Bridget de Mesurier, Shannon Patterson, Rona Bowie and Nicole Reynolds. So they are the field. And well, fairly close, maybe lane 4, Catherine Russell just has the advantage from Laura Hawkins, so it's an English battle. But joining them, Ellie Riley in lane 3, so she's got the Scottish interest there, but it's going to be Laura Hawkins who takes it from the Royal Wolverhampton School. 34.02 for her, 8/10 faster than she was this morning. Second place was Catherine Russell, and third Ellie Riley. There we get a nice view of our winner, Laura Hawkins. Likes to see the Royal Wolverhampton School make their way up to these championships.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see teams from south of the border coming up. City of Leeds here, Royal Wolverhampton School, Nova Centurion, Loughborough University, all making their way up, and it makes for a really tough competition and some great opportunities to get in there and race hard.
Yes, and a good opportunity for the swimmers that come up to get some really good preparation meet for the big competitions in England that are coming up over the summer. But we're on to the A final now. Lucy Ross there for South Lanarkshire. She goes in lane 0, youngster from South Lanarkshire. Eve Thompson is in 1 for University of Stirling. Rebecca Klein's looking pretty chilled in lane 2 for City of Leeds. Katie Robertson of South Ayrshire is in 3. Corrie Scott goes in lane 4. She'll be the favourite here, I would think. University, and her teammate Cara Hanlon, she'll be looking for a big swim here. She's in 5. Orla Adams is in 6 from Aberdeen Performance. Next to her, another Edinburgh University swimmer, Hayley Monteith, and the 4th one beside her, Samantha Caulfield. And then we have Alex Diamond of Aberdeen Dolphins in lane 9. She got a big cheer from the Aberdeen Dolphins Supporters Club, and she'll be looking to do them proud. But you would think this will be Scott and Hanlon in the centre lanes dominating here. Corrie Scott already has a Commonwealth Games consideration time. 31.49 is that time. Wouldn't Cara Hanlon love to be there with her? There's a push. She was 31.83 against Scott's 31.58 in the heats this morning. So need to find about half a second there. Pushing on then is Scott in lane 4. Just maybe, well, not even half a metre up on Hanlon. And then behind them, Orla Adams going very nicely, but it is now the 2 Edinburgh University swimmers just starting to pull away, led by Scott, but Hanlon is right there with her. Let's see as they come in. What is the time? 31.33 and 31.53. So very, very close. 0.04 of a second away from the consideration time. Oh, that's painful, but must give a hope for the meets coming up to come. But 31.33, that is another cracking swim from Corrie Scott. So you have to be happy with that. And Cara Hanlon, they're so close, Ali.
Yep. Excellent swim there from Karen. It's always hard when you look up and you see you're so close at that point in time. But as you say, I think she'll take great confidence from that. That's a good PB. And she certainly looked good there technically as she came down. Not quite getting it on the finish. But looked very controlled as well, wasn't rushing the stroke. So I think when she looks back at that, she'll take great heart from it. And as you say, she's got other opportunities coming down the line. I think she'll take advantage of that.
Yeah, and I guess it's particularly heartening if you can see things that you can improve on, and you say, well, that 400, it's going to go. I know where I can get it from, so I just need to go and get it done.
Absolutely, and I know there's 3 weeks to go to the next meet, so that's exactly what her and our coach Shannon Rollison will do. They'll go and look at it and work it out and be trying to make sure it's just that little bit better next time round.
So we're back to the medal podium, and that is Ali Wright picking up the bronze medal in the 50 backstroke. So Loughborough teammate Joe Elwood getting the silver. Maureen Campbell doing the honours here, the chair of Scottish Swimming. And it's a clean sweep of gold medals on the backstroke for City of Glasgow's Craig McNally. So very well done to Craig. And the junior champion just stepping up. And that is a fairly local swimmer, Ian Lovey from Broch, the Fraser-based team. So a nice local flavour to that one. Ian's had a good meet. And it's good to see some of these smaller programs producing people at this level. Broch up there in Fraser. Nice new pool there that they've got to train in, so that probably helps.
Indeed, and he's doing a lovely job at the moment. Nice technical swimmer as well, so I think he's got some great foundations in place for him to improve in the future.
So we're just waiting for the ladies to get themselves sorted for their presentation. Probably slightly bittersweet for our silver medalist, but we'll see them in a moment as we check out what's going on in the Warrender camp. And there's what's going on in the medal preparation zone. There they are. I think we're just about all in place now. So off they go. The bronze medalist was Katie Robertson, 32.54. We're talking about the two from Enemy University. We didn't really talk about her, but that was an excellent swim. The junior record's held by her sister, Erin, and she's only 4/10 away from that record. She's got still the rest of the summer to try and knock it off. Cara Hanlon then, that super swim just outside the Commonwealth Games consideration time, and adding to her 100 gold, a very nice 50 swim from Corrie. We didn't really talk about Corrie's swim there, but no. That was a good swim as well, wasn't it?
It was good, and Corrie's had a season where she's working full time at the moment as part of our university program, and so she's altered her training program slightly. Her and our coach Chris Jones at the University of Edinburgh figuring things out, and it seems to be working for her at the moment. And she's had an excellent season so far. She looked great in that race. Yeah, and I know she's really enjoying it at the moment, which I think makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's so much easier if you're having fun, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So from 50s we go to 400 individual medley. We've no classification event in this one, so we go straight to the B final. So they are getting themselves sorted. We're looking there at the lead swimmer there. I think that must be either Yeomans or Sykes. I wasn't sure who we're looking at. It's Matthew Yeomans in lane 0, City of Leeds. Beside him, Duncan McKinney of City of Glasgow. Lane 2 is the second lead swimmer, Jake Sykes. Then we have Ben Cope from the Royal Wolverhampton School. Daniel Ferguson from West Lothian is in 4. Jonah Walsh of Warrender in 5. Rory Dixon of North Ayrshire in 6. Tom Jeffers of Perth City in 7. Thomas McSkimming of Warrender is in 8. Matthew Richards from Royal Wolverhampton School in 9. Well, Thomas McSkimming has a bit of fame from him today. The only swimmer over these 4 days of competitions to qualify to the final from the B flight.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's a great job done by the young man.
And certainly it's this person next to him, Matthew Richards. He is absolutely smashing the butterfly here, really pushing it out. You're not seeing him on the podium. You're looking at the centre lanes there, but I can tell you that in lane 9, you can see him there up at the top of your screen. Matthew Richards absolutely hammered a 101.86 for his butterfly. So we'll see whether he can use that as a foundation to move on here. So representing the Royal Wolverhampton School, came into the meet on a 4:46, so we know he can go a lot faster than the 4:58 that he did this morning. And he's looking pretty comfortable on the backstroke as well, and going through halfway 1:38.78, so still a big lead here. Second place swimmer Duncan McKinney 1:42.36, so about 3.5 seconds back on the Royal Wolverhampton School swimmer.
Yep, and the likelihood is they won't have seen Matthew going out. The guys in the middle won't have seen him going out so quickly, and they'll only see when they turn and move on to the breaststroke leg, and they'll try and they'll likely catch him at that point in time, and then we'll see who's got the best breaststroke and whether the race starts to change at that point.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in this next 100 metres. So still a big lead though, 2:15.62 for Richards. Still McKinney in second, 2:19.57. So now a full 4 seconds advantage for Richards. We'll look for signs that that lead is going to come back. Well, maybe there are some swimmers starting to make a move. Jonah Walsh in particular in lane 5, but they're coming from a long way back, so they've still got a huge amount of work to do. We'll see what the gap is halfway through the breaststroke. You can see it's still Matthew by a considerable margin, 2:58.38. So the gap was 4 seconds. It's down to 3 and a bit now, so they've taken maybe 3/4 of a second off that lead, but well, they'll need to do more than that. But sometimes in the second half of the breaststroke, it all starts to change. There's a line of swimmers making moves on the other side of the pool. McKinney, Sykes, Cope and Ferguson all up there. Also Rory Dixon not so far away in lane 6. So those 4. Did I see there a sneaky look across from Ferguson? I think I did. And what he's seeing is that he is rapidly catching Matthew Richards now, so he maybe fancies his chances that he can do this now. Suddenly the lead is down to about 6/10, 3:41.67 at the 300 mark. What has Matthew Richards got left to give in the freestyle? We know that Daniel is a pretty useful freestyler. Ben Cope is still right there on his shoulder. Jake Sykes in the mix as well. So is Rory Dixon in lane 6, but it's still the lane 9 man, Matthew Richards. He's still got the advantage with 50 metres to go, 4:13.96. He's got a second and a half still. In fact, he's increased his lead down the first 50 freestyle. So, well, you would have to say he's going to hold on to this, you think. Lane 9 then. Still it is Daniel Ferguson in second place, but he's not going to be able to do anything about this. What a swim from lane 9. He was the slowest into this heat, but, well, he got a place and he took full advantage and comes in 4:44.58. A massive 14 seconds faster than he did, and that is 2 seconds faster than the time he came into this meet with. So he'll be very happy with that, and particularly happy, I would think, about how he managed that race.
Absolutely, really gutsy at the start, getting out there. And clearly, perhaps wasn't performing at his best this morning. Maybe 1 or 2 words with the coach after the heat swim, I fancy. But as you say, Duncan, if you get a lane, you've got a chance. So he's taken full advantage of that.
Yeah, and you see there that, it wasn't really a case of holding on. He was very well controlled once they got away from the breaststroke, and it never really looked likely.
Yeah, absolutely. The breaststroke guys in the middle of the pool had to really work hard on the breaststroke to pick up, because they could actually see the fact that Matthew was out in front. And once they'd actually used that effort on the breaststroke, it's a pretty tough ask to then pick up again.
So here come the swimmers for the A final. And we have a very quick return to the pool in lane 0 for Warrender's Archie Goodburn. Said we hadn't seen the last of him. Fraser Allison, his Warrender teammate, goes in lane 1. There's Fraser. Lane 2 is Joseph Miley from the University of Aberdeen Performance. Beside him, a third Warrender swimmer, George Clough. Good performances from him this week. Then we have Mark Sharanek of Edinburgh University. Good swim from him. Thomas Peribonio, involved in that very exciting 200 IM last night, goes in lane 5 for Edinburgh University. Callum Laurie of University of Stirling is in lane 6. Lane 7 is Cameron Park of City of Glasgow. Then we have 2 Leeds men, Jonathan Milner in lane 8 and Liam Birrell in lane 9. And Mark Sharanek, silver medalist in the British Championships, picked up a consideration time for the Gold Coast, also earned himself a spot on the World Championship team heading off to Budapest shortly. So won't be rested for this one, although it looks as if he's shaved. So we'll see what sort of time he can produce. 4:15 was the time he did in Sheffield. It was nothing like as fast as that this morning. You wouldn't expect him to be. 4:32. So you would expect him probably to be somewhere between those 2 times this evening. Good start over on the far side from the Leeds guys. They've just seen a cracking swim from lane 9. So maybe said, well, I fancy some of that. But it is Sharanek who, well, no, it's not. It's Clough leading the way by 100th, 27.76. But I think coming out of the turn, it's Sharanek in lane 4. But it's pretty close. Up there as well, Thomas Peribonio. So he, in fact, along with Mark Sharanek, both swam in the US Championships last year and were 1st and 2nd. So we've got pure class here coming now to Aberdeen. Sharanek does lead at the 100, 59.47. Peribonio 100.01. Clough now down to 3rd. And then also in this leading group, Callum Laurie in 6th and Joseph Miley in lane 2. So these 5 in a arrowhead formation, headed by the 2 in the centre lane, Sharanek and Peribonio. Still, Sharanek just has the edge, but not by an awful lot. So Peribonio is going to give him a good workout here, I think. And, well, through the turn, it's just 2 tenths between them, 134.48 and 134.69. Sharanek maybe just edging a little bit more of a lead as they come down towards halfway. He's got that lead up to a metre. Still very tight for 3rd between Clough and Laurie. And hanging on with them, Joseph Miley. Hanging on pretty well, in fact. He's very much in the mix still for that 3rd spot contest. But it's Sharanek, 2:07.37. Just opened up the gap in the latter stage of the backstroke there, up to 1.7. 2:09.08 the split for Thomas Peribonio. 3rd was George Clough, 2:10.73. Although in the breaststroke, looks like Laurie is a threat. They're both strong breaststrokers, and Joseph Miley still right in there in the silver cap. Just see him out of your screen. They're coming into it now on the left-hand side of your screen. So these 5, but Sharanek is just gradually turning the screw, and that lead now is exactly 2 seconds, 2:44.59 and 2:46.59. So gradually building up this lead. Third at the turn was still Clough, but still only just ahead of Callum Lowry. I think Joseph Marley now maybe just finding it hard to stay with those two, so I think it's 4 now who are going to contend for the 3 places, and very much the favourite, you would think, coming to 300 now is Mark Sharanek. So coming up to final turn, 3:22.10. He's currently running about 6.5 seconds faster than he was in the heats this morning, so if he keeps that sort of progress, you'd think maybe 4:24, something like that maybe. Surely now has this one well sorted. We saw him in 200 backstroke yesterday, silver medalist in that. Not his main event. This is one of his main events, and well, turns for home. He also has a consideration time in the 200 IM. He chose to sit that one out in these championships, but showing his class here in the 400 IM, and he is around 3-4 meters up. Peribonio holding on to second. It is Laurie now who has third place, and he's just putting in a bit of a challenge on Peribonio in the latter stages, but I don't think he's going to catch him. In fact, Peribonio is making sure of that now, so the 1-2-3 is clear. Mark Sharanek is going to bring them in. Wee bit of a glide in. 4:23.70 he takes it. 4:25.24 for Peribonio, and 4:26.26 for Callum Lowry. So that was a good solid swim from Mark there. He looked like he was in charge really throughout and running to very much a defined race plan.
Absolutely. Duncan extremely controlled, clearly benefiting from some excellent skills off the walls, and making sure that he uses them to great advantage. Thomas is a tough swimmer, but every time they came round the walls, Mark seemed to just take that little bit extra out of him, and when it came to the last leg he was well clear, and he managed to keep that going. But as you can see from the pictures now, you know, he's all into that race.
Yeah, but you'd expect him, once rested, to go quite a lot faster in Budapest. Great news is we'll be able to see it on the BBC.
Absolutely, there'll be some great coverage hopefully from Budapest, and there'll be some great performances from the British team.
Yep, so that's coming up later in July, so do check the schedules, make sure that you don't miss out on what is going to be some sensational swimming, hopefully from the Brits, but also of course you'll see the best in the world in this post-Rio year. So we head now to 1500 freestyle. This is the fastest. We had the slower heat going this morning. This is the faster heat. Lots of youngsters in this one. And going through the fields, we have Nicole Reynolds there in lane 1 for Dundee City Aquatics. Kirsty Stewart of the University of Aberdeen is in 2. Katie Taylor from Heart of Midlothian is in 3. In 4, Nikki Miller from South Lanarkshire. In lane 5, Iona McLeod of Dundee City Aquatics. Lauren Wetherell is next in lane 6 from City of Glasgow. And we have Ellie Turner from Carnegie, the Newfoundland-based team. She's in lane 7. Britt Laurie of Highland Swim Team in lane 8. And Emma Russell of Heart of Midlothian completes the field in lane 9. So 9 swimmers in this one. Obviously somebody dropped out. Didn't fancy 30 lengths of the pool. Can't think why. So we see Emma making her way in. Looking at the entry time, 17:07 for Nikki Miller, 17:10 for Iona McLeod. They're on paper much faster than the rest of the field. Next fastest Katie Taylor, 17:45. So you'd expect this to be one race for the gold and another race for the bronze, but we'll see. Certainly the 2 centre lanes are going to be first and second at the 50 turn, led by Iona McLeod, 30:54, only 900ths in it from Nikki Miller. So
yeah, pacing absolutely crucial in this event, and get it wrong at the start, you go out too quick, you're going to pay for it later on in the race. Go out too slow, it's extremely difficult to pick it up. as you go through. So getting it just about right is crucial.
Nikki Miller probably with, well, I was going to say more experience, but we've seen quite a lot of distance freestyle from Iona McLeod over the last year or two. The younger swimmer, but a very talented one from the Dundee City Aquatics program, just 14 years old. 104.40 is the 100 split. That was Nikki Miller that just got the touch in by 100th there from Iona McLeod, but you can see there the two stroke for stroke coming down the pool, and not far behind them there in lane 7 is the Carnegie swimmer Ellie Turner. So she's certainly making an early statement of intent here that she wants to get on the podium. 4th place in between the front two and Ellie is the City of Glasgow swimmer Lauren Wetherill. In her first season at City of Glasgow has been in the States up until then, in Florida at the Bowles School. So she'll be settling into the City of Glasgow program this year. I hope to see great things from her, but it does look like it is Miller and McLeod who are gradually going to pull away, I think. Checking there, nice shot of Patrick Marley there, the head coach of the University of Aberdeen Performance outfit. He can, I was going to say take this one off, but he can't because he's got Kirsty Stewart going in this one in lane 2. 2:13.47 then was the 200 split, so pacing pretty much on 109. Still the two of them side by side. Ellie Turner is only about a second back. 25 to go. That's the lap counter. Just keeps them right, just in case there's any confusion in their minds. Over 17 minutes of swimming, it's very easy to kid yourself that you've maybe done a lap more than you really have. So that just keeps you right. Experienced swimmers shouldn't need them, I guess, but it's nice just to have it as I guess, a comfort blanket that what you thought was right is right. Nikki then, I think, is again just going to lead through 300. 3:22.71 and 3:22.97. So I guess it is about just consistency along the pacing through this. That was another 69, just over 69 that time. So they'd want to settle to this rhythm and stick to it.
They'll settle to it, and I guess that there is different tactics that unfold as you go through the swim. It could well be that Nikki's gone out steady, is looking to maybe build the 500s or build the 300s, depending on what she's set out with our coach is the best way forward. And I would expect Nikki at some point just to try and apply a little bit of pressure as we go through the race. Yeah, but she's had quite a tough program over the last 3 days leading into this one. She's won the 200 fly earlier on as well, so taking on the 1500 is challenging her right the way through to the end of the event. So it'll be interesting to see whether she's got anything left in the tank.
Will that 200 fly still be in her body a little bit, or will it be shaken off by now and she can start as if she was starting from scratch?
Well, it's unlikely that she'll be feeling like she can just start from scratch. She'll have obviously done the right things in terms of recovery. She'll have been into the swim down pool. She'll have taken on some fluid. She'll have tried to eat a little, try to refuel at that point in time, but equally there's always going to be that psychological fatigue of having competed for 3 days, then the 200 fly, then the 1500 freestyle as well. So, but it's a mental challenge, and knowing her pretty well, it's one of those challenges that she's usually willing to take on.
And it was another 69 for the 400. So they are, it looks like, settling down to a nice steady rhythm here, and doesn't look like there's any sort of little pushes to just test out the other one going on at the moment, but there's plenty of time for that yet. We're just coming up to 1/3 distance. Maybe it's just opening up a little bit of a gap as they go through the 500. 5:40.22, so that was a little bit faster, that one. That was around 68.5, so about half a second faster than they have been going at. So maybe this is the first of the little just tests and see that whether Iona can get phased there. As the 14-year-old, well, she has done this event a number of times in the likes of National Age Group Championships. It's perhaps be conscious that Nikki is the more experienced swimmer, and will that phase her, do you think? Or is it just the youngsters are never worried about knocking down these reputations?
No, I don't think it'll phase her. I think she'll embrace it. She'll enjoy the fact that she's got a race in her hands. She enjoys the event, but she's one of those swimmers that swims across the event. She's got a very strong 200 freestyle, swims 2.5 for 200 freestyle, 420 odds on the 400. So she's good across the different events. But I know she does like the endurance ones as well. But Nikki just looking as though she's putting a bit of pressure on now, asking the questions, and it'll be interesting to see whether Iona can stick with her or whether she just has to settle into her own and stay on her own rhythm.
So again, just upping the pace a little bit, Nikki, 67.8 for that last 100. So certainly I don't think Iona is slipping back in pace at all. This lead is just being pulled up. There's part of the Aberdeen coaching team urging on Kirsty Stewart. She's currently in 6th place. You can see there the swimmers behind. You can see there that it is still Early Turner in 3rd place, but she's well behind these leading two now, around about 10 seconds behind Iona, but has a fair margin, about 5 seconds on 4th place Lauren Wetherall. So forgive us as we do focus on these two leading swimmers, because there is another race going on and we will see them from time to time. But here you can see Nikki Miller coming in, 7:55.87 is her time at 700, so that was just under a 1:08. So keeping that pace, which was, remember they started off around the 1:09 mark, so she's now consistently pacing about a second or so faster than that the last 200 or 300 meters. And Iona, well, just dropping back a little bit as a result of that. The gap is about 2.5 seconds now. You see about 4 meters, that's the lap counters, so 15 to go at this turn. It's the halfway mark, in fact. So 750 meters they just went through. And well, you would think now Nikki is turning the screw gradually. And unless there is a change in the second half, you think that at the moment you'd have to fancy her to see this one through to the bitter end.
I think so. I think Iona looks as though she's still pacing around the original pace that was set at the start, and that's still a good strategy to have, even pace throughout. She seems to be sticking to her race plan. It depends what she's talked through with her coach, whether or not the plan was to try and stick as much as possible with Nikki, but at the moment it certainly looks as though Nikki's just starting to stretch further and further away.
Yeah, she's on pace to come in around the 17-minute mark at the moment, so if she can keep this going. And of course a lot of coaches look to try and get their swimmers to just pick up the pace in the second half. Do you think that might be a strategy here?
Yeah, it will be, but it's always difficult, and sometimes it's about the one who drops off the least. But as you've explained already, Nikki's picked up the pace. I suspect that when we get to the last 500, she'll try and go again at that stage, and it will be interesting to see what that impact that makes on our 100 split times.
So just coming up now to 900 meters. So serious shouting going on. Oh, that is serious stuff, my goodness. And 12:84 then. So, well, actually it's slightly slower actually, that last 100. It was closer to 69 than 68 that time. So again, as you said, sometimes it's about dropping off the least. So, well, we'll keep an eye on that, whether Nikki Miller can hold on to her pace. So you see the gap now is the biggest it's ever been. It's about 4.5 seconds in terms of time. 10:47.46 you can see there against 10:52.35, so nearly 5 seconds as they went through the 9:50. Technique in terms of the distance swim, so in terms of stroke rate and what you do with your legs through this, what would you say? Is it based on individual preferences, or?
No, I think it's all about efficiency, to be honest with you, Duncan. Nikki Miller there looking quite efficient in the water. Clearly you don't want to you want to make sure there's as little resistance as possible, as little drag as possible. You're trying to make your technique, your body position as efficient as possible in there, so that all that drag and resistance is reduced. If you're swimming for 1500 meters, you don't want to be having to work harder than you need to. And then with your legs, you need to make sure that you're using them to great effect in terms of the balance of the stroke, and then likely make sure that you have them in a place where that if you need them as the swim goes on, that you can actually gradually pick up when you need them in terms of increasing the pace.
So this next turn there'll be 400 meters to go, so we are now starting to get to the latter stages of this race, and Nikki Miller has gone down to 109s for her last couple of hundreds. Let's check this one out, 12:30.61, so again another 109, just under. So her pace has dropped a little bit. Iona now no longer in your picture, but she's now about 6.5 seconds back, so I think probably her pace has dropped a bit. Now she's probably on around 110s now. You can see her there just on the right of your screen, or was for a little while. We come through the 13 minutes, coming up to 11:15. Just try and get a sense of what's going on behind these two. It is still Ellie Turner. We should see her coming up in lane 7. There she is now, going the other direction. Just saw her briefly there in that shot before we focused in on Nikki Miller. Lovely close action shot there of her. You see there Iona there, you see there, that was Lauren Weatherall going in the other direction. She's currently in 5th place. Katie Taylor has just gone past her. Oh, it is still serious business being a mother, isn't it? Oh dear. 13:40.18, so 69.5 there, so it does look like Nikki is maybe just hurting a bit now as that pace just dropping back a bit. But well, we were talking earlier, if she maintained the 108 that she'd been on in 17 minutes, it seems probably unlikely that she'll hit that sort of pace now. Entered 17:07, that was the time she did in Sheffield at the British Championships. That's Iona's coach, David Haig there from Dundee, so he's looking pretty serious at the moment, checking out on Iona's splits. Just see Iona coming up towards the turn as Nikki Miller leaves away from it. Clearly now there is no doubt that she is going to take this. That second Dundee swimmer just saw briefly there, she's in 9th place and just been lapped, Nicole Reynolds. But this will be all about learning for her. Her time 18:20, so no surprise really that she's being lapped. She's over a minute behind. That's the South Lanarkshire fraternity, so they are got the responsibility of looking after Nikki, and well, she's doing her team proud here, just under the 14:50 lap, 14:49.96, so another 69.7 or thereabouts.
Of course, the 1500 freestyle for women just recently been made an Olympic event, so we're going to see this being swum in Tokyo, along with the 800 freestyle for men.
Yes, that must be happy days for the distance freestylers to get two goes at it now. It was very much that they just had one shot and that was it up till now. 800 for the women, 1500 for the men. That's Ellie Turner's coach there, Morag Mitchell. So she'll be hoping that her charge can hold on to the bronze medal position. It's looking pretty good for her at the moment. She's got around 8 seconds in hand over Katie Taylor, but we focus on the leading swimmers and taking the bell, and 15:59.77, so pretty much bang on 1:10 that time, just under, but you'd expect her to pick up the pace in this final 100. So I think we are looking probably at something around about the 17:07 that she did in Sheffield. That would be a good effort to match that time, Ali.
Absolutely, and she's been working hard. She 5:40 on the first 500, 5:41 on the second 500. I think she'll just be a little bit slower in the last 500, but I don't think it'll be a million miles away by the time she finishes.
So 16:34 with 50 to go. So that was around 34.5 there. So 17:07, maybe 17:06 if she could really get the hammer down here. There you can see Iona McLeod. So her entry time was 17:10. I think she'll be a little bit outside that, but this has been an excellent swim from Nikki Miller. Very well disciplined, minimised the drop off. 17:07.35. So 1500ths just away from that Sheffield time. So in the context of a 17 minutes of swimming, it has to be happy with that. 17:15.77 for Iona McLeod. Silver medal for her, and another good swim. So they get now to relax on the lane ropes while the other swimmers come in. We should see now coming in the remaining swimmers. Let's see if we can get a shot of Ellie Turner coming in. There she comes in lane 7, so she's the bronze medalist. Big improvement for her, 17:39 against an 18:13 entry time. Well, that's good stuff from Ellie, and 4th place is Katie Taylor, 17:49, so pretty close to her entry time, and not far behind her Lauren Wetherill, 17:52. Kirsty Stewart next in, a nice PB from her, 17:55 against an 18:11 entry, followed by Emma Russell when we saw her over in lane 9, and 20-second improvement for her. So a lot of youngsters in this field, but putting in some good times there, some of them.
Yeah, some lovely improvements there. Just shows that there's some good training being done out there in the clubs.
Brooke Laurie and Nicole Reynolds complete the proceedings. 18:31 for Brooke and 18:35 for Nicole. There's the full result. 17:07.35, Nikki Miller the winner. Iona McLeod second and Ellie Turner third. Here you see Nikki Miller coming in.
So we can see the results up on the board. Nikki Miller taking the gold medal there.
We decided to stop her. Now she could start again. And here she comes into the wall. And nice push into the wall there. Right through to the final metre. The hard work continues. There is the City of Glasgow contingent. They've had some very good swims there. In that one, they had Lauren Wetherill ending up in 5th spot. So we just have a little bit of hiatus now, but we have medal presentations now. That was Emma Russell just being congratulated by a coach. 22nd PB, so Coach Phil Potter, I think, will be happy with that. Here come the 400 individual medalists to the podium. Callum Laurie from the University of Stirling collects the bronze medal. The silver medalist Thomas Peribonio from the University of Edinburgh. To his silver in the 200 IM, but a very nice swim from Mark Sharanek, gold medalist. Wouldn't it be nice if he came back with a medal in Budapest? Probably an outside shout, but hopefully he'll be in the final.
The 400 IM is extremely competitive around the world.
Yes, indeed it is. Archie Goodburn getting the junior medal for Warrender. So we're coming towards the end of the 2017 championships, but we've got relays still to come. Tonight it's medley relay. Men will be up first, followed by the women. So we'll be looking for some fast relay swimming. But before that, the ladies, quick recovery after their 1500s, still a bit red in the face. As we look at Ellie Turner, the bronze medalist from Carnegie. So very nice improvement on her time. Silver medalist Iona McLeod, the Dundee City aquatic swimmer. So great to be picking up senior medals at age 14, both Ellie and Iona doing that, but the win goes to that lady Nikki Miller from South Lanarkshire. So she's the Scottish champion, and Iona McLeod is the junior champion. So the commemorative trophies go to both of them. Guess the 1500s have to work harder for that than all the others. I'm looking pretty pleased with the results of their efforts. 3 really fine representatives of Scottish swimming. So that's us finished with our individual events. As I said, relays coming up. We've got 2 heats for both of these relays. So starting with the men. Just run through the field. That's the Arborough St Thomas team. They'll be going in lane 1. In the first heat, we've got Dumfries in 2, Glasgow University in 3, South Lanarkshire Junior team in 4, Wolverhampton School will go in 5, Aberdeen Dolphins B team in lane 6, Dundee City Aquatics in 7, and Dumfries Junior team in lane 8. So you're looking there at Dylan Somerville leading off on the backstroke for South Lanarkshire. So 2 junior teams in this first heat. They will decide the junior medal between them. South Lanarkshire have taken the spoils so far in both the freestyle relays. So we'll be looking to make it a hat-trick of junior wins here. Dylan Somerville, as I said, leading off, but a very nice start in lane 2 from Lewis McLeod for Dumfries, so he's the early leader, 30-10. Wolverhampton School turning second, Matthew Richards. Of course, that swim from him in the 400 IM earlier on, and of course he had a very good backstroke leg in that 400 IM, so he's looking to reprise that here for his team. But still, it's Dumfries setting the pace. So very nice opening leg from Lewis McLeod. Time of 1:02.40 as we go on to the breaststrokers. For Dumfries now, it's Blair Wattret. Beside him there, Glasgow University, Matthew Fennick, I think has just moved into second place. South Lanarkshire, I think, now are into third. That's Andrew McIntosh going for them, with beside him Glasgow University's. No, in fact, I think I'm getting slightly confused between lanes 4 and 5. It's Matthew Harris, I think, in third, and then Andrew McIntosh for South Lanarkshire beside him. So they're the 4, and I think maybe now it is lane 4. South Lanarkshire have moved into third place, just tucked in behind Glasgow University. Still Dumfries lead the way though, so Blair Wattret maintaining that advantage down the breaststroke 100. They may be coming back at him now though, led by Andrew McIntosh, who's a very fine breaststroker, youth squad member, and he's only maybe a metre or so back now on Blair Wattret as we come down to halfway, and we hand over to the butterfly swimmers in 2:12.27. So doing the butterfly for Dumfries' Finley Hastings, and then you can see 2 lanes across from him, Mitchell Stevenson for South Lanarkshire. In between them for Glasgow University is Alex Peake, and completing this front 4, Royal Wolverhampton School's Kane Murcutt. So it certainly looks like this first heat will be between these 4, and for the first time it's South Lanarkshire hitting the front. The other junior team over in lane 8 are the Dumfries junior team, so they are at the moment around 6 seconds behind South Lanarkshire, so they're looking good to maintain that clean sweep of relay junior medals. But well, it's Royal Wolverhampton School who've got the advantage over them in the pool though. So great third leg from Kane Murcutt, the 17-year-old. So he's given them a super position here with the freestylers to go, 3:13.31. A lead of nearly 2 seconds to Dumfries in second. They were absolutely together, South Lanarkshire and Glasgow University, for third as the freestylers get underway. So leading the way then for Royal Wolverhampton School is Casey Barrett on the freestyle, and it's a 3-way scramble now for second. Dumfries have Luke Neverson, Chris Muir for Glasgow University, and Keir Buchanan for South Lanarkshire Juniors. And there we focus on Royal Wolverhampton. They've got this race under control now. It's about setting a good time for the second heat. 4:06.62 was the time they were entered on. I think they'll be a bit behind that, but they're going to lead this first heat in 4:08.03. It's close for second, but it was Glasgow University just moving through. So they come in 4:10.68, and South Lanarkshire 4:11.13 are third in that one, but it does mean that South Lanarkshire there will be our junior champions once again. Only a 10th in it between them and Dumfries in the end, but good solid swim and very much a closer team effort there. And perhaps there it was the second half of the Royal Wolverhampton School that did it for them.
They did, but they had a good start on the backstroke as well. That set it up. A good finish there, and it's good to see the team from the Royal Wolverhampton School coming through at the end there and taking that heat.
Yes, so we hope that they've been happy up here. We hope to see them in Scottish events going forward, along with all the others from south of the border. But now we come to the second of the 2 heats. There's a mead-hungry look about these men.
This could be quite close in some aspects though. That was just a shot there of Jamie Coulter there looking as though he was meaning business for this relay.
So you're looking at Chris McComb leading off for the Edinburgh University team in lane 4. Edinburgh University running a number of teams in this one. 2 teams anyway. So they're in lanes 3 and 4. The full field Warrender B team in 0. Aberdeen Performance in 1. Warrender A team in 2. Edinburgh University B team in 3. Edinburgh University A team in 4. City of Glasgow in 5. Aberdeen Dolphins in 6. City of Glasgow B team in 7. West Lothian in 8. And Aberdeen University Performance team B team in 9. So leading through is City of Glasgow. No surprise there with Craig McNally on the lead-off leg. As I said earlier, has completed a hat-trick of backstroke wins this week. And, well, that's a very good platform that he is building for City of Glasgow. It'll be very interesting to see what his split is here. Let's see as he comes in what that split is going to be. Really pushing on hard, 56.77. So a nice, very nice start for him. So he moves on then to the breaststroker, and it's Cameron Park for City of Glasgow. Second was the Edinburgh University A team, and Another one who's had an excellent meet, Ewan Ingalls, gold medalist in the 50 and the 100, will be on the charge to hunt Cameron Park down now. Warrender going pretty nicely there in lane 2. That's Chris Kerr. Of course, we saw that fantastic 100 breaststroke between Ewan Ingalls and Chris Kerr last night. We'll see what happens here, because Chris Kerr is really motoring for Warrender, and Ingalls now up with Park, also up there in lane 6. That is Aberdeen Dolphins, Mark Campbell, who of course has a consideration time on the 50 breaststroke for the Gold Coast. So he is brought Aberdeen Dolphins roaring back into contention here. So it is Ewan Ingalls for University of Edinburgh now who has the lead, and it's very tight for second between Warrender and Aberdeen Dolphins as the butterfly goes. And going there, a pretty quick response after his 400 IM. It's Mark Sharanek for Edinburgh University, just over the 2 minutes at the halfway mark. 2:00:88 is the time there. And going in lane 6 for Aberdeen Dolphins, it is Robert Bryce. He's in clear second now. Warrender just ahead of City of Glasgow in third. Warrender have Archie Goodburn in the pool. City of Glasgow have Ryan Brown. We've seen them both on the podium this evening. But it is Mark Sharanek still leading the way. Robert Bryce is keeping up with him very, very nicely here for the Dolphins. But, well, just gradually the lead is increasing now as we come towards the 300. So it is Edinburgh University then. A time of 2:55:38 with 100 to go. And the responsibility of bringing them home lies with Jack Thorpe. So
it's going to get quite interesting, I think. David Cumble has just come in for the Edinburgh University B team. Remember, he was 49 point on the individual, and here he comes right now.
Yeah, so he is storming through now to try and make an Edinburgh University 1-2. You can see there it was not much in it for second place, but as we focus on the leader, just keep your eyes on the time here. The Scottish club record 3:42:03. I think it might be just out of reach, but it's not going to be far away from it. But another great Edinburgh University effort there, 3:44:48. And it is, as you predicted there, Ali, and Edinburgh University 1-2 after that storming finish there from David Cumberledge. 3:50:65 for the Edinburgh University B team, and City of Glasgow managed to take third by a second from Aberdeen Dolphins, and then Warrender just behind them. So there we see Jack Thorpe puffing a bit.
Well, that's an excellent swim by the Edinburgh University boys.
Oh, look at that though. Disqualifications, 2 of them. Lane 3 and lane 6. So that Edinburgh University B team were disqualified, as were Aberdeen Dolphins. Well, dearie me. That's a bit of a shocker there. So that means it's Edinburgh University, City of Glasgow and Warrender, the 1, 2, 3. Did you see anything there?
I didn't see anything there. It must have been pretty tight, but as always in relays, swimmers trying to maximise the takeover. And when you try and maximise the takeover, there's always a chance that you just go a little bit too early. And of course the rule in swimming is that your toes still need to be on the block when your incoming swimmer touches the wall. And when it comes down to those fine margins, sometimes you just don't quite get it right.
Yeah, it is really tough sometimes, because of course if you do it too safely, that could be the difference between a win and not a win.
Absolutely.
So we now move to the women. Again, we've got 2 heats. Again, it's a medley. We've got 6 teams going in this first heat. You're looking at Emma Scully of City of Glasgow in lane 5. Picture of concentration as they're held, but now they're away. West Lothian are in lane 2, led off by Nicola Lees. Dundee City Aquatics, Iona McLeod. Well, not a lot of rest for her on the backstroke this time. Gives her a break, I guess, from freestyle. Sarah Anderson goes for Warrender in 4. That's their junior team. City of Glasgow in 5 with Lauren Wetherall. Aberdeen Dolphins with Nicole Ogg in 6, and Dumfries with Neve Green in lane 7. Oh, this is a tough ask for Iona McLeod, isn't it? Straight after that 1500 to do 100 back. But she's doing all right. She's right up there, keeping her team in contention with Warrender. Just tucked in behind them, 32.84. In fact, City of Glasgow, sorry, it is that have the lead from Dundee City Aquatics. And in fact, Iona is right there with them. So, well, you wouldn't know she'd just done a 1500 because, well, it's going to be very close as they come in between Dundee and Glasgow. And in fact, I think it might just be Dundee getting the touch. It is 107.17. So we'll see there the second place swimmers going. And we've got still Dundee with Nicole Reynolds. She was also in that 1500. So, well, David Haig is asking a lot of his swimmers here. Lane 5, Katie Shanahan on the breaststroke now for City of Glasgow, and then it is Katie Goodburn going for Warrender. Warrender is a junior team, as are West Lothian in lane 2. Not seeing them really in the picture at the moment. So it still is City of Glasgow. They've just got the edge now, but Katie Goodburn is closing the gap for Warrender on the 2 in front. Nicole Reynolds, though, keeping Dundee right in the mix, and maybe in the latter stages, in fact, has gone back into the lead. So the two 1500 swimmers doing the Dundee team really proud there. 2:24.22. In on the third leg for Dundee City Aquatics is Ailey Grant, much more experienced swimmer. Also surprised that she didn't do the 1500. She's got a bit of a distance pedigree to her name, but decided not to do that one. City of Glasgow now. You have Serena Higuaram on the butterfly, and then for Warrender it's Taylor Finlayson. 2:55.50. That was the City of Glasgow split. It was very much a three-way contest now. Coming up to the 300. It's going to be down to the freestylers to sort this one out. Dundee maybe just finding it tough to stay with. City of Glasgow and Warrender, and Serena Higuaram, youth development squad member, is putting in a pretty good shift for City of Glasgow. Has given them about a metre and a half advantage. There goes their anchor swimmer. So on to the anchor leg, and it's Lauren Witherell on the anchor leg. So and she, another one who's just come out the water from the 1500. The Warrender swimmer is Rasheen Ramsey. She's rested, so well, maybe you'd fancy Rasheen here. 4:00.17 against 4:00.46 for Lauren Wetherell. Well, she does look like she's just suffering after that 1500 a little bit. So Rasheen, although probably even rested, you'd fancy Rasheen over Lauren, and she is bringing this one in. I think it's going to be a Warrender victory in this first heat. We'll check on the time. Entered on 4:29. We're going to be around that mark, maybe just over it. 4:30.19. So that is the time for the final heat to beat. That is a junior time as well. There's one more junior team to come, a very good one though, Heart of Midlothian. So you'd expect them to be faster than 4:30. But that's the standard that's been set. Warrender Bars 4:30.19. Second was City of Glasgow 4:32.85, and third Dundee City Aquatics in 4:36.13. One more race in the East Championships, Ali. Can you believe it?
It's always a great way to finish the national championships with the relays, the medley relay especially.
we saw, of course, a junior record in the last race last night. Can we get another one? Could we get a senior record?
Well, looking at the strength of the Edinburgh University teams in the middle lanes, they're looking particularly strong. So looks like the Edinburgh University A team is all Scots, and the Edinburgh University B team does have Catherine Greenslade in there as well, so therefore a club record is possible with that particular relay as opposed to a national record in there. But don't discount the Hearts relay team on the junior record as it stands, all 4 of their swimmers juniors, so it'll be interesting to see how close they can get to the Scottish junior record.
Yes, so this is it, our last race of the 4 days. South Lanarkshire University of Aberdeen Performance B team, Hearts junior team, Aberdeen Performance A team, Edinburgh University A team, Edinburgh University B team, Edinburgh University C team, City of Glasgow, Royal Wolverhampton School and Warrender up on the top of your screen. And leading off on the backstroke, Lucy Hope for University of Edinburgh A team. Fancy her to take them out very fast. It's Karen Reid for the Edinburgh University B team. Leading off for the Hearts juniors is Lexi Waller. So they're going in lane 3, so just below the yellow lanes, but it is the 2 Edinburgh University teams first and second. Also going well up in lane 7, Camilla Hattersley. Interesting to see her doing the backstroke leg in this medley relay. Of course, they have some excellent freestylers. We saw some great freestyle relays from City of Glasgow, but it's certainly looking good at this stage for the Edinburgh University A team. Lucy Hope pushing very hard here down towards the first changeover, and she's opened up a pretty substantial lead here. It is the Hearts team looking as if they're going to be a second after the backstroke, so a nice opening leg from Lexi Waller for them. 101.51 then is the first 100 time for the Edinburgh University team. That's good pacing here. Onto the breaststroke, Corrie Scott. We saw her winning the 50 earlier tonight, so hard to see her being caught for the B team. Cara Hanlon, silver medalist in the 50 breast, so really good talent there as we see the University of Aberdeen coaching fraternity watching their charges perform. Third is now pretty tight between Edinburgh University C and University of Aberdeen in lane 3, Hearts in fact in lane 2. So it's Hannah Miley on the breaststroke leg for the University of Aberdeen. City of Glasgow have Katie McKenzie, but well, this is very much the Edinburgh University show here. 1 and 2. So halfway mark, 2:10.39, so just under 109 for Corrie Scott. On to the butterfly, Tame Bruce, winner of the 50 and the 100, set that new 100 butterfly Scottish record on day 1. So we know she is a swimmer on form. Wolverhampton School supporting their swimmers as we go through halfway through the butterfly. Still very much an Edinburgh 1-2 here. Raquel Matos, also a very fine butterfly swimmer on the butterfly leg for the B team as we focus in on Tane. And really pushing it hard here. This is such a talented foursome, and Tane Bruce bringing down towards the 300. It'll be Katie Stark on the anchor leg, so she'll be getting ready now, and we see her go 3:10.18, so about a 59.8 for Tane Bruce for the butterfly. The Scottish club record stands at 4:10.59, so anything under the minute here, and that is gone. They do hold the record, Edinburgh University, but it looks like they're going to improve on it here. So we could finish here with a Scottish club record. The teams are getting interested on the side of the pool, and this is Katie Stark bringing them down now towards the finish. Remember, that's record 4:10.59, the national record 4:05.59, so that could be on as well. That was the time set at the Commonwealth Games, so can Edinburgh University knock that one off? That would be sensational finish. It's going to be very, very close indeed. They're just outside that, but a new club record by over 4 seconds. Sensational swim to finish there for the Edinburgh University A team. The Edinburgh University B team takes second. They look pretty pleased with life there. Lucy Hope on the right hand side, Corrie in the middle, and Tane on the left there is celebrating the achievements, and a wee handshake to Katie who brought them home. So 4:06.27 they're the winning team. Are they pleased? Yes, I think they are.
And yeah, absolutely, they should be pleased, because what an excellent quartet to have in.
And unfortunately their hearts 4:18.12, just 900ths away from their own junior record. And we do have a disqualification. That was City of Glasgow in lane 7, not affecting the top 3 there. So it is an Edinburgh University 1-2, 4:06.27 and 4:11.68, with the University of Aberdeen taking the bronze medal. Oh,
I know, fantastic swimming there from the Edinburgh University team, set up nicely by Lucy Hope on that backstroke leg, 61.5. I think it's an excellent swim, taking into account 4 days of competition, and brought home nicely by Katie Stark at the end, so close to the national record. And of course, set at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games. It's no mean feat to get close to the national record.
yeah, it just shows the quality of these girls that we have at Edinburgh University now. Each one of them would be a viable contender for that spot in a Scottish Commonwealth Games team, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, and that's those are the spots that they're all after.
Yep, indeed. So very, very interesting indeed. As we prepare for our final presentation sequence, we have the presentations going on. So there you can see some of the Edinburgh University contingent, as well as our presentations for the relays. There are a couple of special presentations to make. There's an award for the top overall performance by a Scot. That's the Berger Trophy, Berger Paints Trophy. So we'll find out shortly who's going to get that one. And then we have the team competition that's been going on throughout. I think we know who's going to win that, because they had a pretty commanding lead going into this final session. That is Edinburgh University, so it would be a major shock, I think, if they're not declared the club champions. I think they would be demanding a recount.
There might be 1 or 2 questions asked of the timing box, yes.
So a very successful championships, I think. As performance director, Ali, what do you take from this?
Well, it's been fantastic to see some of the athletes that are challenging for places on the games team. Of course, there are places up for grabs here, but most of the swimmers are looking towards the summer, the main summer events, the British Summer Nationals, the World Championships, the World University Games, the World Junior Championships, and we have excellent representation at those major events. So for a lot of them, they're using this meet as preparation, but nonetheless there have been some excellent performances, a number of Scottish records across the way, across para events and the AB events as well. So I think all in all it's looking as though everybody's in a pretty good place at the moment.
So our final sets of presentations, and it's Warrender, the bronze medalist in the men's medley relay. That Warrender team. Just run through them. George Clough, Chris Kerr, Archie Goodburn, Audi Hasuna. There you see the silver medalist, that is City of Glasgow. Craig McNally, great lead off leg from them. Solid butterfly from Ryan Brown. Cameron Park on the breaststroke leg and brought in by Grant Henderson. some unsung heroes, City of Glasgow. Grant Henderson was such a great sprinter and has been a great servant to the City of Glasgow cause, but great swimming from these guys, the Edinburgh University Quartet. They'll be disappointed that their colleagues were disqualified and therefore couldn't join them on the podium, but these four, Chris McComb, Ewan Ingalls, Mark Sharanek and Jack Thorpe. And the junior champions from the first heat, South Lanarkshire Swimming, so they complete a hat-trick of relay junior medals. Dylan Somerville, Andrew McIntosh, Mitchell Stevenson and Keir Buchanan. So there are our men. Almost look like they're standing for the national anthem there.
That's a lovely photo, isn't it? Well, I'm sure it'll look lovely from the front.
Yes, indeed. We don't play national anthems here. There's only so many times we could listen to Flower of Scotland.
Well, certainly you're singing anyway.
But we'd like to hear it in the Gold Coast. So what have we got? It's beginning of July now, so what are we, 7 months, 8 months away at this stage in the countdown. Here come the ladies. What a great finale they gave us. Bronze medalist, University of Aberdeen. Caroline McIntosh did the backstroke. Hannah Miley on the breaststroke. Yasmin Perry on the butterfly. And Kirsty Simpson bringing them home on freestyle. Quite a quandary probably where to put Kirsty on that medley team. Great backstroker, great fly swimmer, and they stick her on the freestyle.
Indeed, probably the one that they want to avoid is the breaststroke, I think, at the end of the day, although she has made some improvements in that over the last 12 months or so.
So it's the Edinburgh University B team picking up the silver there. Karen Reid, Cara Hanlon, Tane Bruce and Katie Stark. And the champions in that new club record time of 4:06.27. The University A team. So that's Corey Scott, did the breaststroke leg. Tane Bruce, who did the butterfly. Katie Stark, who brought them home on the freestyle. And the girl who led them off, Lucy Hope, on the backstroke. What a great swim from the quartet. What a great way to finish these championships. But we've also got our junior champions to welcome, and that's Heart of Midlothian. Another great swim, not quite matching the junior record that they set in this pool back in April, but another really good performance. Lexi Waller leading them off, Ellie Riley on the breaststroke, Kiana McInnes on the butterfly after that brilliant 200 butterfly earlier, and Emma Russell anchoring them on the freestyle.
An excellent group of girls there on the podium, and joined with the juniors up front. It's lovely to see them having a lot of fun up there, which I think says it all about the sport, really.
Yep, brilliant stuff. So our special awards coming up, as mentioned, the top senior award. There's also a top junior award, and that's going to be next to be presented. So the best performance in 16 and unders, and you're looking at her now. So in her time of 2:13.62 in the 200 backstroke, it's Lexi Waller of Heart of Midlothian. So congratulations to her. Our top individual performance of the 4 days for Lexi on her way to the World Juniors. So we wish her the very best of luck there, along with all of her teammates.
Yep, and her coach Phil Potter, also the head coach of the Commonwealth Youth Games. That's a team that's heading out to the Bahamas in a week and a half or so.
Yes, that's coming up very soon now, so I'm sure that will be live streamed. We'll find out. I'm sure Scottish Swimming will be putting out on Facebook and the Twitter sphere the links to that.
You heading out to that one, Duncan, to commentate?
I wish I was. Can you arrange me a ticket?
Commonwealth Games Scotland not organising that for you?
No, you'd think they would, wouldn't you?
I
You
thought
really
so,
would.
yes. Anybody listening out there, we need a commentator. Duncan is free.
Yep, free, willing, and well, maybe not able. The can tell you that the top performance in the senior category, not here tonight, but it was Kathleen Dawson for that brilliant swim in the 50 backstroke, setting a new Scottish record on day one. So we'll get her award to her. But it's now the time to give the top points a massive 1,429.5 points. The winners of the top team, Edinburgh University. So Edinburgh, I'm sure, will be making their way up. Looks like. Well, are they around? Don't see them. There's the cup. Not a very big cup. We don't manage better than that, Scottish Swimming. Small is beautiful.
That's it. I'm not sure that size counts.
Well, where have they gone? Here they are.
Here we go. They were obviously all in for a quick swim down before they came out.
Or maybe a little team hug. So Jack Thorpe and Tame Bruce was leading them out towards the podium, but here come all the team. Great collective effort from them all, building a stronger and stronger team at Edinburgh University. Head coach Chris Jones, but a great team there. Thanks, Corrie, for the kiss.
Was that aimed at you, do you think?
I doubt it.
Doubt it very much.
Aimed at all of you who are watching.
Yep,
thank you for watching from Corrie Scott and all the rest of us. And there they all are. What a bonny bunch. Margaret Somerville, the president of the Scottish Amateur Swimming Association, is going to be making this presentation. So fantastic performance all round. Can tell you that the second place team were City of Glasgow. There was a real ding-dong battle behind Edinburgh University. Aberdeen University were third, just by 3.5 points from Stirling. So 9:05, 8:48.5, 8:45, second, third and fourth. So City of Glasgow will be pleased to have knocked up second place, I think, there. And that three-way battle. University of Aberdeen, I know, were eyeing second place, just falling a little short in the end. But great contest. Warrender were fifth, South Lanarkshire sixth, Heart of Midlothian seventh, West Lothian eighth, Aberdeen Dolphins in ninth, and Dundee City Aquatics finishing in 10th. We're sure that the full point scores will get posted on Facebook, so watch out for that later this evening. The great marketing team on Scottish Swimming will, I'm sure, get that done. So that's just about it for us. So we are done with 4 days of competition here at the Aberdeen Sports Village. It's been a great venue to bring our national championships to. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage here provided by QTV Sports with the producer Seth Edwards, and from myself, from the commentator on the first 2 days of competition, Paul Noble, from our summarisers Ali White today and on Friday, and Alan Lynn yesterday and on Thursday. Many thanks to all of you for watching. We hope that you join us again soon at our next championships over in December. Remember, there's lots of swimming coming up over the course of the summer. But for now, from Aberdeen Sports Village, for the final time, we wish you a very good evening.